to Mrs. Deva. Welcome to the Facebook page of Mrs. Deva. And today's session is about effective planner management tips for all women entrepreneurs. So, let me repeat the topic. Today we are going to discuss effective planner management tips for women entrepreneurs. We have spoken about time management, and today we are going to talk about how can we manage our planner. So I am just going to give you guys a few minutes to join in. Let me know, drop me a message as soon as you keep, joining in the session so that I know that you guys are here. In the meantime, hi Shruti. So we know that Shruti has joined in. Thank you so much for joining in. Welcome to the session. Thank you so much. I realized after I got ready that the wall also is totally pink. So I am not sure how would that look today. Hi Kavita. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Hi Sarika. Thank you so much for joining the session. How are you all doing? Please keep telling me. How are you guys doing and how is the day working out for you? And before I begin this session, let me remind you that my official WhatsApp number, it's still not working. So you can either catch me on Facebook Messenger or Telegram on the same number 9999708215. Okay, so I am reading the comments side by side. Hi Garima, thank you Shruti. How are you doing, Garima? Keep dropping in hello and hi as soon as you join in the session. Okay, so I think let's just quickly begin. We'll keep this session a short one. I will not take a lot of your time. So do you guys remember we did a live session? Hi Priyanka, how are you? Thank you for joining. So, do you guys remember that I did a session on effective time management? It was originally, telecasted from shuttle newspapers Facebook page, but then I have also shared it on our Mrs. Deva page. So, I got a lot of messages after that people are able to manage their time, but they needed more info on how to manage their planners. So, or of course how to structure their tasks. So I use my paper planner. So I am a very old school person, but that way I use my planner extensively, and there are certain things and certain ideas that I wanted to discuss with all of you. I think my biggest achievement from that session would be, hi Divya, how are you doing? Thank you for joining in. Hi Shreya, how are you? Good evening, how are you? Okay, so I would say that my biggest achievement from that time management session would be when I got a message from Pooja Janeja Wallaby Cakes, that she was able to structure her work in such an amazing manner that all her Rakhi orders, by the way, you all know that she was completely booked for Rakhi. So all her orders were delivered timely, and even the payments were, they were clear. So that's something that helped me understand that that session was very useful for you. So I thought if I share how I am managing my planner, that might also help you guys in doing the same. Hi Vinisha, thank you for joining in. This session is important for you. So I have just spoken about how we have discussed time management tips, and today I wanted to discuss some planner management tips with you. Hi Harbina, thank you for joining in. How are you? Okay. So, guys, first of all, there are two, three different things that I would like to discuss with you in this session. Oh, and before I forget, let me tell you that the earrings that you see me wear today, these are beautiful pieces from Ras Gems and Jewels by Sugna. I ordered these for my mom, and when they came, she also liked them so much. She wanted me to wear them today in this session. So that's why I'm wearing them today. You can check out Sugna's collection. It's a beautiful collection she has, and you can, the prices are also very, very competent. Please do check out her collection once. Okay, so let me, straight away begin with the tips. So my first point in today's session is, guys, choose the right planner. Choose the right planner for yourself. Choosing a planner is very different from choosing a diary. So I know most of us, we like, I'm personally a big stationery fan, and I have a huge diary collection of handmade paper and everything. But then when it comes to the planner, I'm very choosy, and I know that there is a particular style that I would want to buy for myself as a planner. So it has to be a dated one. So do not just pick up any notebook and make it your yearly planner, because then you will have to do a lot of writing yourself. You will have to write dates with your hands, which becomes tedious. So I always prefer keeping updated planner. I'm just going to show to you what with the planner that I am using. So that is the normal professional planner that everybody uses. And I also keep a dated diary with me. So that could be a very small diary, but ideally it should have dates. So it need not have to be from this year, it could be from any other year, but what is important is that it should have dates. If it doesn't have dates, then you can write a page number from your own hands. Okay, so this is the planner. Guys, you will of course, I know that you will see in a mirror image of it, so you will not be able to clearly see what I've written. But the planner that I use is this simple planner. I got it from it's available online easily. I personally got it from Jain Book Depot in, of course, Connaught Place. So that is the favorite haunt of any stationery fan. So this is the planner that I use. I specifically choose the one that has one complete page dedicated to each date. So half page dedicated to each date does not work for me, because I am in habit of writing each and every task that I have to do. So I would recommend that get a diary, get a planner where each day one page is dedicated to each date. This gives you a lot of space. So you will see that it has complete page dedicated to a single date. Okay, then another important thing that I find useful for myself. Hi Mama, thank you for joining in. So another useful thing that I find in a planner is, this kind of page, monthly overview page, wherein I get to write an overview of what has to be done when. So you are going to see that I have filled this up like this. It is my kind of overview of what I have to do in the whole month. So I'll give you a few examples so that you're able to understand it more correctly. So if I have a live session planned for someone else, so because a lot of experts keep conducting live sessions through Mrs. Diva, what I do is I write their name in the corresponding date column. So these are dated columns. All of these columns are dated, and I write the name of that person in that particular column. So for example, if I talk about September, okay, yes, on 9th September, for example, 9th September, Wednesday, we have a session with Banani. So Banani will be conducting a live session with us. So I've written her name here. And on the date on the corresponding date, I have written on 9th of September the details of the live session that she's going to conduct. So as of now, I've just written Banani live. So I'm going to fill this out so that it doesn't I will know that on 9th September I've written that Banani is going to go live. So I will know complete details. So I'm trying to read the comments also. Vinisha is, you're good too, I know. You got your cards from there, okay. So Harbina is saying, I've been using a similar one, but sometimes I'm unable to finish daily tasks. So as per your advice, I've shifted to weekly targets. Great, Harbina. I'm also going to talk a little bit about target setting. So Shruti says, yes, I need a lot of space to write. Great. So I'm coming to that also. So I was just showing that how it looks like. So I do an overview of the whole month. So if I have a coaching session planned on that day, I'll write CS corresponding to that. If we have a live sale planned, I'll write a live an L.S. So that tells me that what do I have on which day. So the question that I get the most is, how am I able to manage all these things all together. So this plays a very, very big role, because I have dedicated days for what I have to do on which day. So this is how I plan. It's an overview of the planning of the whole month. So you are seeing this page as empty because I have not yet filled this in. So here on the first page, I will write an overview of, or the kind of major tasks that I have planned for September. So I'll give you an example. Okay, yes. So this was August. So this is August overview, and these were the things that I was supposed to do in the August month. So these were the major tasks that I wanted to complete. I knew that these tasks I have to do over the period of 30 days. So I had written those there. Okay. Now, the second point that I want to discuss is, you have to create a task list at the beginning of every month. So, for example, I just mentioned that this is an overview of August calendar of how the month will look like, and this is a list of the tasks that I will do in this month. So, I want to write the tasks or the goals that I have set for myself like this, and I write them each and every for each and every month. So for example, today in the night before I sleep, I'm going to write it for September month. So September, tomorrow is 1st of September. So I should know whatever I planned for the whole month. Hi Kiran, thank you for joining in. Yes, Vinisha. Hi Dr. Gayatri. Hi Panani. Thank you for joining in. Okay, so what I do is, at times now I also don't know. So I have planned say 10 things for the whole month of September, and I believe that there are certain new things that I want to add. So what I'll do is, I'll write those points here itself. I'll keep on adding them. So as soon as I get to know what I have to do, I will keep on adding these tasks to this page. And similarly, every Sunday, what I do every Sunday, usually I try to keep Sundays a little light, unless of course it is something urgent, then it's completely fine. But I think all of you, hi Kavita, hi Papa, how are you doing? Thank you for joining in. Hi Snigdha, how are you? Thank you so much. Okay, so what I do is, before on every Sunday, I write an overview of the whole week. So, for example, there is a new week that's starting, and ideally, what I should actually do is, on every Sunday, I will write the details of what all I'm going to do in the next week. So, this is just an overview of all the activities that I've planned for that week. And I will write the details of that activity corresponding to that page, corresponding to that particular date. So for example, today I'm doing this session on planner management tips. So last Sunday I wrote it that I did planner management live session, and 31st August on the page that is corresponding to 31st August, I wrote the details of this session. Now, I understand at times some of us are in the habit of writing a lot. So like Shruti is saying that she writes a lot. I also have this habit of writing a lot, and I have a lot of ideas that I want to implement. Now, if I try to adjust everything in this planner, it becomes a bit cluttered. So if it becomes cluttered, it will completely defeat the whole purpose of managing it and planning my task. Why? Because then I will not be able to clearly know that today is 31st August. So what are my tasks for today? So what I personally do is, remember I was talking about that we should always maintain a separate idea diary or an idea planner or a separate small diary. It doesn't have to be a very big diary. Keep a very small diary. That's completely fine. Number the pages. If it is not dated, number the pages. If it is dated from a previous year also, then it's completely fine. What I do is I write the idea in that diary, and whenever I have to work on that idea, I will note it down in this planner. So for example, today I want to work on a new live session, and I somehow get this idea that I want to conduct a live session for all my members around Instagram. So what I'm going to do is I will write in today's date that Instagram, I will write Instagram live session, and I will write the details of that session in my idea diary. Whichever page I'm using, that corresponding date or number I will write here, and I will write Instagram live session, refer, idea diary, and date. So for example, I had written it on page page that is corresponding to 26th of January, because that's a diary that I probably might not be using a lot. So 26th January page was empty, I have written it there. So that's okay, but then at least I will know where is that written. So this is one indexing thing that is very, very important for you. Hi Isha, how are you doing? Hi Aruna, thank you so much. So indexing also, this helps you in indexing. Indexing also is very important when we are managing our planner, our idea diary. So Poonam, I have been coaching Poonam for quite some time, and she was facing this problem. She said, Astha, I study a lot and I maintain and keep a lot of notes, and when it comes to the live sessions, I forget where did I write them. So she was maintaining a lot of registers and a lot of notebooks, and she was writing them as like she was studying. So she would just write it wherever she wanted. Now the problem is that she was unable to recall it. So that is when indexing becomes very important for you. Do you guys remember when we were in schools, we used to have index in our every register, every notebook. So we used to write the topic and we used to write the date. So that is something which helps you in indexing now also. If you are keeping your idea diary, if you're keeping a register, keep first 2 pages empty, write the name of the idea or write whatever campaign you're working on, and write the corresponding date where you have written more about that idea. So this way you will never forget where have you written the details of that idea. So what was happening for me was, when I was starting with Mrs. Diva, I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to implement, a lot of things I wanted to work upon. But then again, same thing was happening with me, that I used to forget. Where did I write that? Where did I write about the details about that campaign? Where did I write the details about the product? So this indexing is going to help you a lot in your idea diary. So just maintain that one diary, keep first 2 pages empty, write the name of the idea, and write the corresponding date where you have written it. Okay. So we have just spoken about that every Sunday spend 5 minutes and do a... So Harbina is saying, yes, never realized how important it is. Yes, Harbina, so this is how you can easily index your ideas. So I know we all forget about indexes, but then when you are generating so many ideas, and especially for you, Harbina, because you're working on multiple things in one go, it is very important for you that you should be able to refer to your idea where you have written about it. So it might also be very helpful for you. So just try to follow this pattern. Okay. So we have just spoken about that every Sunday spend 5 minutes and plan your whole week. Write down the corresponding description on that particular date where you want to actually work on that idea. Then so for example, a lot of times what happens is, I think someone messaged also just before this that they at times do not complete their task. So the task completion, they have written it on one page and then they were not able to complete it under that date. So what should they do? So the easiest thing to do is, if you have not completed any task, migrate it to a next day, migrate it to another date, and do not like forget to migrate it, guys. So at times what we do is we do not migrate that task. Migration means that you do not move it to another date, move it to the second date, move it to any other date, and write there, and write it at this new place. Where have you written about this idea originally, or where have you written about this task originally? So for example, to yesterday was 30th August. I wanted to complete one task that I wanted to make a creative about social media calendar, but because of some reasons I could not complete it. So now what I did was, today I searched my planner and I found out that 5th of September probably is a day where I might get some time, and I might be able to do this task. So I migrated it from 30th August to 5th of September, and I wrote there that make social media planner refer 3008. So I wrote the date so that I'm able to go back on 30th August page and see what was I talking about. So this is very simple. It might sound a bit complex, but it is not at all complex. It's the easiest way. If you want, you guys can use any digital tool also. So there are a lot of apps also that where you can plan your days. You can you have a lot of digital planners also these days. If you want to use them, use them. I personally use paper planner because I'm still very comfortable in writing. I'm more comfortable in writing than using a digital diary. So okay, Kavita is saying, I'm also in habit of writing each and everything. It helps a lot. Yes, Kavita, I do write a lot. In fact, sometimes my mother also says that you write so much, but then I really cannot help it. Isha is saying, yes, Isha, definitely. Anita, hi Astha, just came home from out, hence I'm delayed. Sorry, that's completely fine, Anita. How are you doing? I hope the reason that you went, the reason that you go outside for, you were able to do it. Snigdha is saying, I use 2 laptops for live sessions, one for Zoom and another on which I have tasks indexed on a PPT slideshow. That's wonderful, Snigdha, but honestly, I don't have 2 laptops with me. So I kind of maintain the diary and then work on one single laptop. Rakhi, hi Rakhi, that's okay. Hi Sugina, how are you doing? Hi Shikha, thank you for joining in, guys. Okay, so I'm just moving ahead. Yes, so I have spoken about it. Yes. Another important point is, guys, at times we think that that in the planner we are just maintaining our official task, our tasks that are related to our work. So let me tell you one thing. If there is something, there is a personal meeting that needs your attention, any personal task also that needs your attention for a particular date, write that down in your planner. It actually helps a lot, because what happens is we then try to keep remembering it, we try to keep making a mental note of it all the time. That just takes up unnecessary brain space, so it is always better if you can simply, if you write it down and get it done with, because then your brain is not as it's not under that pressure of remembering that task for you. So it's always better, it's fine if you are even writing your personal tasks. So sometimes you will also find in my diary written that make a list of the grocery or vegetable shopping, or if I have to get something for my mom, I will write that down also. If there is a birthday coming of a friend or someone else in the family, I might write it down on that page so that I don't forget it. And in fact, I also tend to write. So sometimes I fall short of motivation myself. So you will find out, you will see I write certain messages for myself on the top of the pages. So I'm just trying to see. Yes, so I got it. So see, I write it like this: one day at a time. You might be able to read, one day at a time. So every every few days when I want to remind myself about something, I do that. So see here I have written focus on right now. So basically stay in the moment, staying in the moment. So that's what, because because I'm working at times on a multiple things, I tend to fluctuate a lot between those things, juggle a lot. So I try to remind myself that you have to focus on right now. You have to focus, you have to be in the moment. जो कर रहे हो पहले वो चीज पूरी करो. Then you will also find your other messages, like you make your own path. So I write these messages for myself. So I want to motivate myself also every day. So whenever I find some quotation somewhere that I like, or if it's something that I have thought of, I keep on writing on the page, top of the page. So here I've written, appreciate what you have achieved until now. This is a very important reminder that all of us need, that we at times forget appreciating where we have come and what all we have achieved, and we just focus on what we have not achieved. So I remind myself that on this day, so 2nd March, I reminded myself that I have to appreciate what I have achieved until now. Okay, so next one was be thankful and grateful for everything. Thank God for everything I have. Let go of the past. This is a very important reminder. So you will find this written on multiple pages in my diary. Let go of the past. Then I wrote, don't worry about the future. So things like that. Any message that you want. Okay, so Shruti saying everything makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Shruti. Pooja, oh hi Pooja, how are you? Finally, you've joined in. Great to see you. Okay, so Pooja says she also follows it. Shikha is saying Google Calendar is good. It pops up and it is in mail too. Nowadays, I do important. Yes, absolutely, Shikha. Like I said, if you are comfortable using digital calendars, it's a great way. So it's just that I feel personally more comfortable with a paper and a pen, so I use paper planner. But then definitely go ahead and it's just that how you want to maintain it. That's it. Okay, Pooja is saying, and have noticed even when you take the session, you always have written notes. Yes, Pooja. So that is my habit, that I will always have my written notes handy. I have to write them in my writing. So if I have a business coaching session also, so this was Anita's session, this was Sugna's session today. So I will have written everything. So like these, I'm in a habit of preparing a lot of notes, guys. And now I have to find a way to digitize them, so I'm thinking of moving to the digitization of these notes. So that's something that I have to I'll be figuring it out. So that's how I am in a habit of maintaining a lot of written notes. Then Shikha is saying, I write all important live session training in my notepad. Very good habit, Shikha. If we write something, it is very, very less probable that we forget it. Rakhi is saying Google Calendar is very good. Yes, definitely, Rakhi. Google Calendar works great. Okay. So my next point is, so you guys understand that it is completely fine to write your personal tasks also in your diary. It's okay. Go ahead and do it. Okay, so my next 6 point is that you will have to do it very consistently, guys. At times we think that it's okay, I'll write it tomorrow, I'll write it day after tomorrow. But then when you're managing a planner, that's something that is going to put you off track if you do not, or if you procrastinate maintaining your planner. So do not procrastinate maintaining your planner. That will help you be on the right track whatsoever. Even if you have to just have one single task to write it down. It is very, very important. Yes, so Priyanka is saying that digitization will be done by the co-founder now. He is also laughing. You are right. Okay. No, actually Papa is also helping me in this, in digitization of the notes. So okay, so Sugna is saying high five, I love using pen and paper too. Yay, yes, definitely. Sarika is saying very meticulous and organized, appreciable. Thank you so much, Sarika. Okay, So moving on to my seventh point, it's seventh point is that some people also like to color code things with highlighter. So if some people have their system, they write a task, and if they highlight it in orange color, it means that it has to go first or it has to go last. So basically they use it to set a priority order. I personally don't use so many colors in my planner, and not I do not use highlighters. So for me, a simple numbers would work. So I'll write all the tasks, and then I'll probably number them 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on the task which I want to do first. So setting up the priority order, it is also very, very important. So Shikha, consistency is missing in your schedule. Shikha, one of the reasons why I use paper planner is because I wanted to be very consistent with writing and maintaining my planner. um, it's something that you really have to do. I personally think it's like, it is a part of my everyday schedule. So I have the planner with me wherever I go. So if I'm on a vacation, or if I'm on a staycation, my planner goes with me. So for you, if you're using digital this thing, then it becomes even more easy. It hardly takes a minute or two. Just open your Google notes. If you are using Google Calendar, then just open that app and write it down. It will hardly take a minute. Just tell yourself every day before sleeping that I have to spend 5 minutes to it, give 5 minutes to it. Harbina is saying I love using highlighters. Obviously, you are the color guru, the design guru. Of course, you would love to use highlighters, Harbina. Definitely, and yes, it gives more clarity to you. It's actually very it makes things easier. Highlighting makes things easier. It's just that I personally cannot carry so many pens around. So that's why I prefer just writing in one color. And I then, hi Surbi, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. So I just give a priority order by number. Okay. Then another very important point, guys, please don't miss it. When you do a task, when you have completed one task, do tick it. Do just check that task out. It gives you a sense of probably accomplishment, and you will know that I have done this task. It is a great feeling, guys. Once you get into the habit of doing it, you will not so Shikha, this will work for you also. Once you know that I have done a task, that great feeling that you feel that I have done my task for today, that's amazing. So you will not miss writing also in your planner, or you will not even miss maintaining your planner. Okay. So I have already spoken about, if a task is incomplete, you can migrate it to any other day. Okay, now the last point in this section is, and then I have one small next section. The last point here is time monitoring. So guys, time monitoring is very important. I had a session with Sugna in the morning today, and we were talking about the same thing. We have to understand and identify which activity is taking how much time, and is it worth to spend as much time in that activity or not. So what we try to do is, we try to give our 100% to each and every activity, but then there are certain tasks that are probably repetitive, and that might not need our 100% energy. They might just be successful if we are giving our 80% also to it. So don't always try to go for perfection. So I'm talking about things like making a creative. So at times we think that we have to spend at least 1 hour for a creative. So initially when I was doing creatives, I was doing the same thing. I was spending a huge amount of time on every single creative, and then I realized that it is just taking up so much time. Let me move on to the template mode. So what I do now, you might have always also seen that we have a set template for the live sessions for Live Diva. So that has made my life a bit easier. So similarly, track all your activities, everything that you are doing, and see how much time is it taking. Okay, so yes, Nidhi, it is like accomplishment, right? Okay, so Isha saying definitely will start, but every time I look forward to start, miss the consistency. It's okay, Isha, whenever that happens, probably acknowledge it that yes, I forgot to write about my task for last 2 days. Now I will make sure that I will not do that today. Take one day at a time, just go with one day at a time. Every day you wake up, just say that I have to take this one day today, I have to do this today, and tomorrow I will see tomorrow only. So take one day at a time. Write for today. Do it for today. Pooja is saying even I make plan for weekly menu. That really helps me a lot. Of course, Pooja, because you are doing a lot of stuff, a lot of cooking and baking is going on for you. It becomes very important. I remember you sharing my live session creative in 2-3 minutes. That was a learning for me. Yes, Harvina. So that's how I do it, because if I have to make creatives on everyday basis, and if I spend so much time on each creative, that just takes my time from the other activities away. So I try to do things that can be done via templates easily. I try to do it like that. Now, there is one small thing that I want to talk to you about, which is setting goals, guys. So, setting goals. The other day, Harbina had shared that she had, because she's working on a lot of things as of now. She's facing problems with her time management. So there are 2-3 ways in which we can set our goals. So setting goals, guys, is totally, it's a very relative term. So for example, I personally might not like setting daily goals. I might like setting weekly goals or fortnightly goals, or monthly goals. So if we are talking about short term goal setting, then I probably would say that weekly or daily is something that two options that you can look forward to. So a lot of times people, because they're working on multiple things, like Harbina is working on a multiple things, so I suggested her to move to the weekly setting of goals. The benefit that you get here is that you have that buffer with you. So for example, Monday you did not get time to work on what you had planned for that day. You might feel disheartened. It happens to a lot of people that they feel that I was not able to complete my task today. So to such people, or for people who are working on multiple things, moving on to setting weekly goals really helps. So you can set a weekly target. Then what do you do in that case? You set up your targets, you set up your task for that complete week. So you will write that in this week I'm going to do this, in this week I'm going to release 2 creatives, in this week I'm going to do 2 live sessions, and these are the topics. So things like that. Fortnightly and monthly, they are fine, but then they are not very effective in terms of tracking your process, tracking your work, and tracking the productivity. So if you are gunning for productivity, stick to weekly goals, and not more than that. If you want to try fortnightly, you can definitely go ahead. Do let me know if that works out for you or not. Then another important thing that I suggest to entrepreneurs who are moms and who are struggling between work and their household chores, because they have a lot of things to manage, I suggest them to moving on to alternate workday schedule. So what it means is that you allot days in the week when you want to work. So for example, you work on Monday, on Tuesday you just focus on your home, you just focus on cooking, you just focus on taking care of the kids, and you just focus on working for Wednesday. So do some prep work for kitchen prep work for Wednesday. Then Wednesday you focus more on your work, and because you have already prepared little bit for your kitchen and for your cooking on Tuesday, you get more time here, dedicated time here to do your work. So then in that case, Thursday you again move on to not doing your work, and you will just focus on your home. Friday again you focus on your work. So this is called the alternate workday schedule. So it is very helpful if you're feeling very overwhelmed. So in the lockdown, I suggested it to a lot of moms who were struggling, because they were unable to catch hold of their breath also, and they were like doing so much work, and they were so overwhelmed. So I suggested move on to alternate day work schedule and move on to everyday schedule when you feel that you have now a grip on your day, and you have now grip on your work, and you feel better. So after like 2-3 weeks, after you have experimented it for 2-3-4 weeks, you can move definitely back to working every day. Okay, then last thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is implementing a new idea. At times when I talk to you guys and you want to implement a new idea, what I've seen is that people just keep working on making that idea perfect, making the execution perfect. So my usual suggestion is, after you have decided that you are going to, or you are convinced that you are going to work on a certain idea, work on it for a stipulated time, then execute it. If you think that you want to execute it, go ahead and execute it, else you will just stay in the planning stage only, guys. So we do not then come into that action mode, taking the action mode. We have to focus on taking the action mode, getting into action. That is very, very important, because things will just keep turning up, ideas आते रहेंगे, गलतियां दिखती रहेंगी, सब कुछ होता रहेगा, बट आप execute नहीं कर पाओगे आइडिया को. So prepare your MVP, minimum viable product, whatever you want to do. Do a little bit of your research, make a plan, implement it, evaluate it, learn and repeat. So that is how it works better. If you just stay in that achieving the perfectionist this thing implementation, things get a little bit difficult and you might not be able to implement your work or implement your idea. So for idea implementation, it's completely fine if you want to take 3, 4, 5 months also, but then once you have decided that time, stick to that timeline and release that work. Start working on it, start executing the idea. So a lot of times we don't execute it. Execution is very, very important, because otherwise you will just be in that rut of not doing the things. So that's something which is very important. If you guys want any more details, please speak to me, please let me know, I will explain it to you once again. And just wanted to let you guys know that my WhatsApp is still not working, guys. I'm really very sorry for this whole fiasco. Please connect with me via Facebook inbox, or you can find me on Telegram also, 9999708215, same number on Telegram. And thank you so much for joining in, guys. Thank you. So Mohita also joined in, Vibha also joined in. Thank you so much. Thanks Sabina for attending. Thanks Rakhi, Shruti, Shikha, everybody, Priyanka, Sugna. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining in and staying with me for this wonderful session. Now I'll just take your leave. Bye-bye, everyone.